Today, we're going to be looking at cloudcannon. It is a Git-based CMS. They reached out to me and asked me to check out their service, so that's what I'm doing today. They are sponsoring this video, as well as 2 follow-up videos that are coming out. They have not told me what to say, and they are not receiving a pre-recorded version of this video, so they will be seeing it for the first time the same day as you, and I'm going to give my honest feedback. I told them that up front. And we're going to check out their service. This is the first of 3 videos. If you're interested in seeing the other 2, click subscribe down below. We're going to be using Astro. We're going to be using cloudcannon. We're going to be using Git. So that is a prerequisite. You need Git on your machine. Git and GitHub are different. Git is the version control software. GitHub is where you host your Git repository. You could also use GitLab. But for this video, we're going to just use GitHub. And you'll need an IDE, so VS Code is good and it's free. This is their website. Manage your website without multiplying your problems. Git-based CMS built for speed, security, and 0 headaches. You can start with a trial, but I will tell you from personal experience working on an actual production website that a lot of these headless CMSs like Strapi and Forestry, they offer a paid version, like for hosting, like a cloud version. And a lot of times it is worth it to just get the cloud version and pay them for their service, because you end up managing the database yourself and then you run into problems and it's a whole headache, and then you have to do multiple things to get it working. Are you an agency or freelancer? You can join for $10 a month. It's pay as you go for smaller clients, unlimited sites, and basic features included. Let's check out their features. So they feature a WYSIWYG on pages that are configured to support it, which is great. I definitely want to check that out. So visual editing on the pages as long as it's configured correctly. Draft, preview, and publish. So different environments, which is helpful, especially if you're working with a client or a team of people and you want to make sure that the website is to your liking before you publish it. Super helpful. They have a specific page for developers, which is cool. And you can build with your favorite tools. So we'll be using Astro, but they also use Hugo, 11T, Next.js, Jekyll, SvelteKit. So, all the classic static site generators are here. And it looks like they have their own collection of open source tools, Bookshop, which is a component-driven development workflow, PageFind, Reseed, Rosie, and PageBreak. They highlight the fact that static sites are very fast and they can scale. So in a nutshell, it looks like the 3 steps are: we start with the site, so it would be Astro at latest to actually build the site on our machine. Then we configure cloudcannon. I'm assuming this involves linking the GitHub repository to your cloudcannon account. And then from there, you can invite content teams to collaborate. So this is the actual visual editing piece. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. Let's get started. Okay, to get the full experience here, I want to start with just a plain Astro site and push that to GitHub and see how I can link it to cloudcannon, just as a starting point. So I have my terminal open in the left-hand side here, and I'm in my GitHub directory. This is how I organize my code, and I'm going to just paste in the npm create Astro at latest command to create an Astro website. It's going to go through and ask me a couple questions. So I'll name this cloudcannon test. I will do a basic starter, yes dependencies, and yes GitHub repository. So I'll change directories into cloudcannon test by using cd and then the location. And then npm run dev runs the website, builds it in the browser. And Astro uses port 4321. So this is what our site looks like. All right, to register for an account, all you have to do is click the Getting Started button on their website and then click the Sign Up or Create Account. From here, you can pick one of these services, GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, to sign in using those account credentials, or you can sign up with an email. It'll walk you through the setup. And then one other thing, learning Git is outside of the scope of this video, but you will need to learn Git and you will need to push this website to GitHub. If you're not familiar with Git, I would strongly suggest the GitHub desktop app. It's a visual way to see the changes that you made. Another option is we're in our repository, you can go to source control within VS Code if you're using VS Code, and you can set this up to attach to your GitHub account. What I mainly do is just use the terminal just to run you through here some of the commands. Git add period adds all stage changes. So this adds everything that you've changed since the last git commit. Git commit -m is the git commit message. This would be whatever you're doing within this git commit. And then finally git push. I have a .files repository that uses some aliases to make this a little bit less painful. If you're interested, I'll link it below. I think YouTube is a great resource, so if you're not sure, if none of this makes sense, just take 5-10 minutes, look up a YouTube GitHub tutorial, and it will walk you through pushing the site initially to GitHub. And I'm going to authorize cloudcannon to see that GitHub repository. And there it is. I am going to use the existing branch, main, leave the site name as is, and it should be building our website here. And then if we go into the guides, it says getting started with editing. We're going to click the button and it detects that it's an Astro site, so we're going to use that. We are going to create a configuration file. All right, I think that just added something to the repository. Looks like something happened. Let's refresh here. And it looks like on the repo page, it looks like Leaves and cloudcannon have added a file here. So there's a cloudcannon config file that was added to the repo, which is super interesting. In here, you have to confirm the build settings, and you could just use the default options, npm I to install, npm run build to build, and then the dist folder is the directory that the build sends to. So we'll see here when we go to our sites, we see the preview image. That's what the website actually looks like, the default Astro build here. If we go into the site and we go down to site settings, we can see under hosting, there's a test domain. We can set up a custom domain if we want to connect one. There's routing options, which is really cool. Automatically set to HTTPS, which is very useful. So this is where you would invite people to share the site. So you can add members here. That's interesting. So yeah, if we go to hosting, we can see that we have a test domain. If we click it, it goes to cloudvent.net domain, and this is our site. I think this is where we're going to end video 1. We have a site that is deployed to cloudcannon's hosting. It's on GitHub. It's connected. We have cloudcannon sending some config files to the repository, and we have a link to the site if we want to check it out. What's coming next in video 2 is just connecting the WYSIWYG piece, the visual editing piece, so we can start working with some content and add that into the website using their editor. And then video 3 will be a continuation of that and a wrap up and maybe a look at some of the other settings here, like the different environments and configuring branches maybe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.